Happy New Year, everyone.
It's 2023. It came.
How about that?
We knew it, and we're here. Can you believe it? 2023? Wow.
Well, it happens. Time marches on, they say.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's like, we remembered the Jetsons. We thought that, by 2023, that sounded so futuristic.
Yeah.
We were going to be flying around up there, and no. Everybody's going to have a Rosie. Remember? Rosie the maid. Rosie.
Oh, I thought it was Rosie the Riveter.
Well, that's from the 50s. He's still living in the 50s. We're going into the Jetsons times, yeah. Rosie was the, that robot maid.
Gotcha.
Hello.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
morning, Mr. Jetson. She'd always call Mr. Jetson.
Good morning.
Yes. So, well, we're here, and...
What are we going to do with it? We've got a whole year ahead of us.
I know, we do. Well, we can always start out with coffee. There you go.
Did you bring mine? There isn't anything in this one.
Pretend. This is the pretend New Year's show.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheers.
Ooh.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff, huh?
It is. I bet yours is better.
Well, what I did was, see, this is new. My other one, I don't know when I went to a big one. I always had this, but then I went to a big one. And then, so I would fill it up in the morning, right? Then, if I wanted another one later, or we go to a restaurant in the morning, I was drinking too much coffee. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I'm just going to bring it down half in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I can drink another cup. I tried it yesterday, and I didn't get the jitters. So.
All right.
Peace.
But I better check that and make sure it's okay. Pretty good.
Yes. Well, it's the year of being positive. What do you call this year?
Positivity Plus.
Oh, Positivity
You
Plus.
like that?
I like that. Yeah. I like it.
And I have to be more positive concerning my self-care than I was at the end of the past year. 1 year ago.
Right.
Or 1 day ago.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to do a much better job of that. I'm positive of it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Positivity Plus.
Yeah.
So, Positivity Plus, are you going? Oh, no. I don't like to, you take care of yourself, and I take care of myself, and yeah.
You give me little hints along the way, which I very much appreciate.
Good.
Very
I'm glad.
much.
In the back is going,
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I
good.
am not. And you know what I'm doing to start off this new year? Tomorrow, I'm leaving for my beloved Quartzsite, Arizona.
Very good.
Yeah. I'm going to head over that way and meet my buddy Marco and get things ready for what we hope will be a number of people showing up to meet up and meet other folks, and not necessarily to meet us. That's not what it's all about.
Right. It's not. Yeah, because we're just normal people. I mean, we really are.
Well,
we
speaking
are.
for myself, I can be a little abnormal, but that's fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun too. We sure had fun yesterday, didn't we?
Oh my gosh, yesterday's video. Yeah, we had the giggles, and
we were goofy.
And this is pretty much improv too.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do the giggles twice, because then you think those two have gone off the charts.
And a number of people said, you folks on the gunja today?
I know. You've been visiting the dispensaries, and yeah.
And I remember that Buka, the van man, said, I'm in Florida, so we don't have any of those dispensaries that it sounds like you guys were using. And I said, Buka, don't you worry. There are 2 dispensaries in Quartzsite. Not that I've been to either one and don't plan on it, but they're there.
I haven't smoked pot in years.
I haven't either.
And I don't really have a desire to, do you?
No.
I really don't. I mean, it just doesn't seem like I would become paranoid. I remember that's one of the reasons I really had to give it up, because I became paranoid. It made me paranoid. Why would I want to be paranoid? I want to be relaxed.
I don't know, but I answered someone else that said, "Oh, what are you guys drinking or smoking or whatever?" I said, "You know what? Neither. We're just drunk on life."
We are. It was a fun day yesterday. So let me in on a little secret from, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, it's called "We Were Teenagers," and I'll let you in on a little secret. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. But I had started to do the flashlight review, and I was just floundering, just something fierce, and it was kind of making me like, why can't, I was goofing up and everything, and all of a sudden he comes over and sits beside me, and it just became a giggle fest. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. That's why we laughed. I'm happy. Thanks. We want to help me. And then he just started. I said, "Do you want to help me with this?" And,
of course, we were teenagers a few years ago, but we were acting like giggly teenagers yesterday.
I know, it was a lot of fun. I love to laugh. I really do. Sometimes I laugh. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, he's going to think I'm just like, would you just stop laughing for a while? But
well, the thing that bothers me, Lee, is when you get to giggling and you try to talk at the same time.
I know.
My hearing isn't the greatest, but that makes it absolutely impossible to understand what you're saying. So that's all.
Yeah. So
no
but
big
it was
deal.
a good time. So it was a good way to start, toward the end of the year.
Right.
But there is something we do want to talk about a little bit. Want to tell what happened with your ankle?
Well, it wasn't a huge deal, but there are times in this nomad life where, you can get injured or hurt yourself a little bit anywhere. But I have a high top van that it's a pretty good step to get down onto the ground when I want to get out of the van. And I just stepped wrong on my right foot ankle somehow, and knew it immediately. It sounded like, it didn't sound, but it felt like something was strained at least. Nothing broke or anything like that, but I just had to take it easier for a little while.
Right.
A week or so. And it's feeling really, really much, much, much better. Just a little twinge still there, but no big deal. Not stopping me from doing a thing. So thank you for the number of well wishes that I had. That was much appreciated. But I'm going to be just fine. Give me another couple days and we'll be all set.
Well, yeah, because you're leaving for Quartzsite, so and you can. I've done it with a little, and I've got really good balance, and they're not big rocks, but you step on a rock funny, and your ankle goes down.
It can happen.
It just does. So be careful, everybody. Wear the right shoes. Yeah. But even it'd be better to wear the hiking shoes out, because it's going to help protect, like the ankle high. Hiking shoes.
And I have a pair that I plan on using. So,
oh, good. Good job.
Yeah. And actually, it'll probably be good to be having to do some certain things let's move move that table over here, let's get these chairs over there, or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you get to a point, at least, if you're having a bad ankle and it's not too bad, you're just moving it around and exercising the thing a little bit. Something I probably should have been doing up until that point, and maybe I wouldn't have had that problem, right?
Well, it's either ligament or tendon. It's what holds muscle to bone or holds muscle to muscle. I forget which ligaments or tendons are. But once those can get stretched out or cracked or a little tear in them, it can take years to heal.
Well, you were showing me, remember, just a month or so ago?
Yeah.
Lee was doing her regular stretching routine, and she said, "Oh, this is something you ought to do yourself." And it was just lifting up on your feet, your ankles, and then letting it down, and then lifting up again with all your weight on there.
Right.
Had I been doing that more religiously, I bet this little thing wouldn't have happened. But the point being that, yeah, if you're in a sticks and bricks, you know that you can hurt yourself too, but we do a lot more moving and up and down and get out of the van and get back in the van or whatever. And I think we're just much more liable to, if we're not careful, to injure something.
Well, that was what started the whole discussion. I said, well, yes, if you're living in sticks and bricks, you're going to get in and out of your vehicle. But we do it a lot.
Oh,
We're doing it a lot. When you're in a house, you are on a soft, comfortable mattress. You just flip your legs over, step up, yes, and then pad onto the nice carpeting, padded carpeting.
Yeah.
You're pretty much in your house. In many respects, you're padded. It's a padded house, really, compared to what nomads live in. We're not padded that way. And then they go into the bathroom with a nice, we don't even have to sit on or stand up in a bucket, or I said, we don't have to do any of that. You just sit on a nice, comfortable toilet seat, get you back up with your feet onto the nice, fuzzy little bathroom carpeting, right? Then you pad over to the kitchen and lean against a nice counter. I'm just going through what I used to, yeah. And then you can go sit in your lazy boy, put your coffee down, put the feet up, turn on the TV, and watch the news. We ain't got that going on. Oh no. We're just like, I'm moving things around, and I'm always, I think that the most recent one, it was a pretty nasty. It was right there. I remember doing it. Bam, I thought, I was reaching in yesterday when we were out in the wilderness, and I was reaching in to get my Jackery, and it just scraped really bad.
That hurts.
We're just, and then remember that time that I hurt my shin?
And that was here in my van too.
Right, because it's a high top. So if you're in a high top, be careful, everybody.
No.
Yeah. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference between living in a sticks and bricks and living the van life.
Well, you were talking about the folks in a sticks and bricks getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Well, the first step I take getting out of bed is down onto my step stool.
Oh, yeah.
And I've tried and tried and tried. I tell myself, hold on to the edge of your mattress, because if your foot goes out from under you or something, you need, so far so good. I haven't had a problem with that. But the fact of the matter is, every morning when I get up, I have to tell myself, be careful, watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's not quite like that when you're just getting out of your bed.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
morning.
you're just laying on the bed, you turn your legs over, put them down, and step up, and boop, boop, boop,
Off you go.
onto your carpeting.
Yeah.
In Arizona, I will mention, if you don't know much, there's rarely wall-to-wall carpeting.
And why is that?
It's just tile. It's cooler.
Ah.
Probably it's cooler. But we do have area rugs.
Okay.
You have area rugs, and then you can take them out, and you can, pound them or whatever, take them out and shake them.
Yeah.
And or vacuum them and stuff. But yeah, it's mostly tile. I think I never really questioned what it was for. I think it's because it makes it cooler.
My first guess as to the reason for that in Arizona would maybe have been some of the, not to give the weird critters, little critters, you've talked to me about a place to hide or a place to build their little home. I mean, there are some strange looking insects around here.
Yeah.
And I haven't I have come face to face a couple times in the desert, and I've said, Lee, what the heck is this? And she'd say, it's a whatchamacallit. Don't pick it up.
I don't really know some of them. The main ones that we have in Tucson, and probably in Phoenix too, and everybody gets them because they come up to the sewer, it's sewer roaches.
Gross.
They're about that long. Oh, they are armored. You could step on them and they still walk away. You can hear a little crunch and then they can still walk away. It's horrible.
Oh, man.
But they come up through the sewers. So what I would do, or they can come up through sewers outside and then find their way through under your door or something like that, find an opening. But most of us know that you always have like in your tub and in your any sink, you have the stopper on at all times, especially before you go to bed. Yeah, because they like the dark.
Okay.
So yeah, you always want to stop up and yeah, and then because they're nasty. I mean, and they can really. I could tell you stories, and I won't. But
don't tell me.
Yeah, no,
don't
they don't want to hear them. But they can be up in the foothills with the most fanciest homes, and you see in a corner a dead soy roach. But they killed it and they just kind of moved it over.
Wow.
Yeah, they're everywhere because everybody uses a sewer system. It's not so much that you're dirty like a German cockroach, something like that. But the other bug that is the Palo Verde beetle, and that I'm going to show you a picture of. Yeah, they're big. They're can be like that long with these pictures.
Oh, good.
Ooh, yeah. They lay their eggs at the bottom of a Palo Verde tree, which is the state tree. And they lay their eggs down in there. So when the monsoons come, it softens it up, and then the eggs will hatch and out. And they fly. They don't just crawl, they fly. And so at night you'll see, oh yeah.
Is that only in the summertime?
Yeah.
Because I let Abby out about a half hour ago again.
Okay.
And I didn't notice what type of tree it was. Maybe it was a Palo Verde. Right back here at the edge of the parking lot, there were a couple of holes that kind of looked like anthills to me.
Okay.
Right at the base of the tree.
Yeah.
And Abby wanted to go up and sniff, and of course I see something like that, and I pull her off the thing because I don't know what's down there. I wonder if that's what that was. But
well, I don't think this is winter. I've never seen a Palo Verde beetle in the winter.
Okay.
So it's mainly that starts when it starts the monsoon, maybe after the first rain. And it softens up the dirt so that they can kind of get up out of there.
That makes sense.
I know, but they're huge. Yeah, there's some weird, and then, you got scorpions too, which a lot of people, okay, if you're going to the meetup, and a lot of you said, what about scorpions? It's going to be too cold for them, right?
That's good news.
Yeah, it's just too cold for them. And there's only one kind of fatal poisonous scorpion in Arizona, the bark, I think it's the bark scorpion. They're ever so small.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they just hide. They mostly hide, like maybe in caves and things like that. And but if there's a bigger scorpion, you can get bit. Oh yeah, with the tail, and it's not really getting bit. You get stung. You're not going to feel good. And maybe you can die if you're allergic to it. So yeah, you don't want to get, if you're picking up those rocks out there, just be careful. Yeah.
And the other thing that I'm very happy about is that at least most of any snakes that are in the desert, they're having their winter sleep at the time we'll be there, and I'm happy that they'll stay there. Last year I stayed quite a bit longer than I normally do out on Plumosa Road, the BLM land there, and a camp host told me a couple of years ago, he and I were talking about rattlesnakes and such, and he said, just remember this, you don't have to see a snake, but if you see one of the small, what are the little lizards, not chameleons, but
geckos? No.
Yeah, like a gecko or something. If you see that the geckos or the lizards are out, you can bet that the snakes will be out. And sure enough, along about late March last year, I started to see lizards, and I said, I think it's time to take a trip up to Utah and Colorado or whatever. So, but anyway.
Yeah, and I've been in Arizona for 40 years. I've never seen a rattlesnake, ever. Never. Yeah.
Music to my ears.
I do remember a couple, 3 years ago at the meetup, don't leave your shoes out. Because a snake did get in one of them. It was sort of later on after the big rush. It was like more the middle of February. So things are kind of warming up a little bit. It doesn't stay cold long in Arizona, believe me, unless you're in Flagstaff. But a gal in the night stepped down Oh, I know. She stepped down without her shoes because her shoes were outside. She stepped down, and there was a snake under her vehicle, and it bit her. She knew it was that she could kind of see something. It looked like a snake. Well, it wasn't a rattlesnake, but she didn't know, and so she had to be air vacked. She called, and they air vacked her. Yeah, because they weren't sure either. But a snake bit her, so they can hide under your vehicle. Yeah.
But again, in mid-January, the chances are very slim that they'll even be out and about. So
right. Yeah.
Don't want to scare everybody to death. Like, I don't want to go there, for crying out loud. But you know, we've got a lot of people that are in Florida. We got the same kind of junk in Florida.
Oh, you guys don't you have alligators and crocodiles?
I think it's alligator.
I know.
So.
And well, you got the boas.
Yeah. The people have
you guys have a terrible problem, and they lay eggs. And remember when we watched the Godzilla?
Oh yeah.
Each one lays like 600 eggs. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then they can lay right away, not too long. They can lay 600 more. Yeah. So.
Anyway.
So let's see. Is there anything else you want to talk about? This is New Year's. We're going to be entertaining you for today. I hope you didn't drink too much. We won't bother you. Drink. Don't do that. I've got a hangover.
Well, I'm glad that you posted and you tell me more about it. But you said that what are your aspirations or your resolutions for 2023, and you said you were going to keep track and save that, so at the end of 2023 you could post everything again and say, okay, how'd we do, folks? Did you make it? Did you do it? Did you stop it? Whatever. That's going to be very interesting.
Well, I put it on my calendar for next year to find it, and because I put hashtags, we can talk about hashtags. Right. Hashtags, I put 2023 on it, right? So I'm going to just in the group. I'm just in the Facebook group, which is Minivan Leads This Nomad Life. Please go join it if you haven't. Make sure that you got a nice, a human picture on your account. Yeah.
About reposting that.
Right. So I'm just going to type in when I get that notification next year. I'm going to type in 2023 in the group for subjects, and it'll come up. That's why hashtags are so important. It's a hashtag, no space, and a word, no spaces. It could be 3 or 4 or 5 words, but just don't put spaces in between them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a good filing system. It's an internet filing system.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using your hashtags, dear?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I always use them when reposting one of your video notifications.
Oh, thank you.
But I know we can even use it on comments that we make, and quite often I never think about that. But the big value, as you said, is if you want to think, where did I do that? What did I do? If you know that you made a hashtag like 2023, it makes it much easier to find that thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, here's another little trick. Oh, why don't you do hashtag Paul Griffith?
Oh,
then all you got to do is type in hashtag Paul Griffith. Everything that has that in there will come up.
Yeah.
I always put Minivan Lee first in every post.
But you'll have hundreds, right? To go.
Well, it's okay, but I can still go through.
It
I can
narrows
see
it down.
it narrows it down.
Okay.
To see what's going on. And if you did that too, I could see, well, what did Paul?
That's true. That's very true.
And any of you out there that are in the Facebook group, that if I want to see any of your I want to see what's going on with you. What have you done? What have you done lately? Remember Janice Jackson? What have you done lately? Then So.
Well, speaking of becoming a member of the Facebook group, if you haven't already, I said I was leaving for Quartzsite on Monday, and as soon as I know exactly where we're going to be camping with Marco's group, I will send the coordinates out in the Facebook group as to exactly how you can find us.
Yeah.
In the Dome, where are we going? Dome
Rock.
Dome Rock. And it'll lead you within feet to where I'm
Right.
camping, at least, and then you can find your own spot in the vicinity. So be sure to be tuned in to that Facebook group.
Yeah.
And become a member, so that if you're coming to the meetup, that'll make it very easy. It'll lead you, Google Maps will lead you right to where the meetup is taking place and right to where I'm camping. So,
And you have to take the parentheses out.
right, a lot of times they will show parentheses and then those numbers and then a closed parentheses.
Longitude, is it latitude and longitude, or longitude and latitude?
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know which one's first,
But you don't need to know.
Yeah.
As long as you post those numbers
Right.
without those parentheses there,
Right.
then it'll lead you right to it.
Right.
So,
And if you don't want to, if you want to park like away from Marco's group, because some of you especially wanted to, this is a little bit different kind of a group, Marco's group. If you want to park away from them, which is what we were going to do anyways, a little bit away with our group, then please do that. You don't have to park. Yeah. They've got some activities that, I don't know, just don't seem to suit our particular group totally. And it's the truth. I mean, some of you expressed it, and I've expressed it too.
mm-hmm.
But it's still going to be fun. They do have a lot of activities that are not against, maybe a lot of us are Christian, not against, our Christian beliefs. So, yeah, we don't have to be right in their group. They've got their own group. Marco has his group, the Gypsy group. Yeah. And we have our own group, this Nomad Life. Right. So, and you don't have to stay even the whole time if you want to. You can move on over, spend a few days with us, and then move over to Plamosa or something like that. So It's not like this, die hard. We all are shoved in together. No.
You're going to camp here whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
No,
you can do what you want to
all.
do. You can do exactly what you want to do.
Right.
And there's also the RTR that's going to be going on the week after, I believe, right?
I believe that's right.
Yeah, the RTR, and that's fun. You can go and check it out, and you don't have to, some of you probably wonder what the RTR is all about. What is this RTR? What is this?
That's the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous.
Right. But I mean, how it works. There's events. And there's they've got a stage built up, and you go, and there's speakers, and there's a schedule. So, and every day has a different schedule. They probably start off simple with basics. Okay, this is all the stuff you need to go potty. And then another one is, this is all the stuff you might need to cook, right. And this is how to be safe. And then there's all kinds of topics, subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it is, I will warn you, it's out in the sun. And you have to take your own chair.
It's basically at the baseball field in town, right?
Yeah.
Or the town park.
Yeah. So you need hats. You need to be dressed properly. And I guarantee you in the afternoon, it's going to get hot.
Yeah.
So don't think you need to be in the morning, you need to be dressed very warm. And then you need to take off layers and layers.
Now, you said dressed warm in the morning. Marco mentioned that it's tradition that we come out in our robes to have our coffee with the others, if you'd like to.
Well, that's not my tradition.
It's not mine either.
I know. I never heard of it.
Sorry,
but that's Marco's tradition. But that's not mine, and that's not probably not yours either. I don't have enough room to be carrying.
A fuzzy robe?
No, I wouldn't even. I have a hard time with fuzzy coats, let alone this long, huge robe. Yeah. No, you have your own traditions. I have my own traditions, and you have your own traditions.
I do.
Yeah. Some of ours, because we're in town, they kind of coinciding, but yeah, you get to do what you want to do, and we get to do what we want to do as our own group. And I'm just putting that out there.
Yep.
Because some of us in my group have just, I don't know, a little bit more expectations and a little bit more things that we like to do and like to be introduced to. So, yeah, we can do what we want to do, right? Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, we're just so glad that you've been with us 2022, and we're thrilled that you're going to be with us in 2023.
You bet.
I'm going to keep you entertained. You just wait for it. I'm going to entertain you.
And I'll get goofy once in a while myself.
I know it. Not a lot. I know you're a little bit more Midwestern tradition, but me, I'm just, I'm bohemian, hippie.
Not Google.
Google.
I was trying to say
Goofy.
giggle at will.
Were you trying to say goofy? Was that what you were trying? Yeah, so, well, cheers to 2023.
Absolutely.
So you guys have a good rest of the day, because guess what? Come not Monday, probably Tuesday, it's in there again. Another year's going to be starting work. And anything that you planned out and you thought about, like, oh, I want to start this. Guess what? It starts. It starts. Here we go.
It's time. It's
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, folks. Bye-bye. Good to see you. Have a wonderful, wonderful 2023.
Yeah. Please subscribe. If there's a goal that I have for you, is to, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It's okay. It won't hurt you. Bye.
Bye-bye.